had a few people ask me, Marie, why the heck are you doing this Living in Yakima series? And I thought it'd be fun to talk to you a little bit about that today. I am a huge Yakima fan, as is my family, so it's sort of in my blood. And one of the things my dad always said growing up here was, it's just another day in paradise. And I love that. And I felt that after his passing and the most recent passing of his brother, my sweet Uncle Gary, these were two men that were so passionate about Yakima, and they wanted to shine a light on this valley because they both fell in love with it. We moved here in 1976 when I was just a kid from California, and I think Yakima reminded them a lot of what California looked like for them as kids. Truly, I spend my time in real estate is really selling this community. I sell it every day. And I do a lot of relocation with people that are coming to town, and between doctor's tours or C-suite people that are coming into town considering making a move here with their family. If they do any sort of Googling, all they would find was this incredible negative news. And I would spend the majority of my time talking to them about why Yakima is such a great place. And the immediate feedback I always got from them was, well, that's nowhere on the internet, or no one's ever said that before. And the truth is, Yakima is oftentimes its biggest critic. And they would come to these companies, do these tours, have dinners at people's homes, and frequently even those people would poo-poo Yakima. And I truly was just like, I've had enough. This is a beautiful place to live. It is a tight community. I love how I really believe that we bring people in and we want to include them right away. And there would be some people that would argue that point, but I have made it my own personal mission to be like that. We were outsiders coming into this community, and it is a deep-rooted, multi-generational ag community, and still felt welcomed. I wanted to change the narrative about Yakima. So I sat down with my dear, dear friend, Cody Beebe, and his company, Digital Vendetta, and we were kicking this around. We were just kind of, there was some negative news or something, and he goes, there's this woman in Boise, Idaho, and she is doing a YouTube channel about living in Boise, and she was doing it going into different neighborhoods in particular and what was happening in Boise. So I watched a few of those, and Digital Vendetta then came up with the term home in the valley, which really resonated with me. And we decided, let's go and shine some bright light on what it's really like to live here, and to really get more specific about what are the different areas. A lot of people don't realize that Tri-Cities is, just about 2 hours away, or are you guys in the back door of Seattle, and really giving them a better perspective of where we are. So we start the beginning of each one of those home in the valleys, which are now called Living in Yakima, with a map. So sort of narrowing down exactly where it is that we're filming. We started in February of 2022, so it's coming up on 2 years, or just about 2 years, which is so fantastic. And this video crew is exceptional, and they have helped me articulate a story about each one of these communities. We had a great time shooting in Natchez. That was our first one. It was a cold, cold day. And I loved pretend shooting that I was up at the mountains for the day and changing gears and putting on my ski clothes. And then we'd have to go out to my Aunt Mary and Uncle Gary's ranch. And then we filmed out there and talked about the history of these 100 and 150-year-old ranches across the valley. And it's just been my absolute joy connecting with people in each one of these. And then we went out to Tieton, and it's another small community that I enjoyed shining a light on because they are doing amazing things out there, and they have incredible leadership. And I'm thankful for being able to make a few phone calls. And in a matter of time, they're like, shoot, I'll talk to you on camera. And the crew does such a good job of making everybody feel really comfortable. So people say yes. And it's really fun to hear what they have to say. We went to Nomad out there, and we got to shoot and visit and drink some wine. And then we were at the art gallery, and we went to Cody's ranch, and it was super fun. And being able to highlight each of these different communities, I think it gives people a more positive reflection of what's really going on in this community. My hope is that I can answer questions about the valley. If you're just searching online, you have no idea what is Sila or SLA, I've also heard Tieton be Teton, Natchez. Boy, what do they call Natchez? 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 Yakima, that's my favorite. So anyways, it's really fun to sort of how you actually pronounce these small communities, but also what does each one have to offer. And in the research that Digital Vendetta does and myself is really highlighting what are some key components that we want to talk about in each of those communities. What are some businesses that are making a big impact in their community or been around a long time? So when we went to Sela, we went to Apple Tree. They are one of the largest employers out there, even across the valley, honestly. They were so delightful. And we went into their shop, their gift shop. And then, of course, we had to go over and get some hamburgers and a shake and fries over at Kings Row. And you know, it's just an iconic place in the valley. We talked about new developments. I really wanted to highlight what is it like to live in each one of these communities? What is the school system like in each one of these communities? And it has been really exciting to pull a bunch of different people together to tell a bigger story. And the team is really helpful at curating something that is interesting, that pulls the viewer in, I think. I'm truly hoping to do more and more of these videos in a deeper dive so that we become the absolute resource, or what is it really like to live here? What is the school system like? Where's the best pizza? And then I thought it'd be hilarious to tell you, because we have drank a lot of beer on this video series, on this movie series. And the thing is, I don't drink beer. So every time you see us at Bronyar or at one of the Cowiche Brewery or any of those places and there's a beer in front of me, the crew loves me because they get to drink the beer after the shoot. But there's so much beer across the valley. It's really important that we highlight it, but I'm not a beer drinker. I'm not much of a drinker, but it's really an important part of our community and the social aspect of it. So I want to be sure that we highlight that, but now you're in on a little secret. I think the fuel to keep shooting this video series, Living in Yakima, is, well, it's 100% a passion project. This is out of my wallet. And it's so important to offer information out to people that is accurate and reflective of the whole valley and not just about a crime scene. It is my joy that when people watch these, that they reach out to me. And so many friends have called and just said, I love that video. I've never been there. I can't wait to go. And that they are intrigued by what we're doing, and that they were really, everyone's just been so supportive of me that I'm doing this so that we have a more positive story about our valley. I think the biggest thing that has surprised me is people telling me, I've never been to that restaurant. I didn't even know there was an art gallery in Tieton, or I haven't had Bronyar pizza yet. You know, there's always these little tidbits that they pick up, and that's really been super fun. And it keeps driving me to keep doing this and to shine a light. And again, I know I keep going back to school districts, but that's really a big hotspot when people are moving to Yakima and trying to figure out. So I'm really excited for this year to spend a lot more time. There's so much education available in the valley. And so it's not only knowing what is available out in the community right now, but now it's more, I get to do more research, and I'm learning so much. And that just gets me super excited to share new things that I've learned about our valley and to share that with everyone who's watching. We recently completed a video shoot of indoor activities. One of the things Yakima has struggled with, as long as I've lived here since '76, honestly, was what is there to do for young people, and what activities are available for families? And Yakima's finally turned the corner on that. I really believe it. I would say over the last 10 years now. So the most recent video series coming out, Living in Yakima, Indoor Activities, it was super fun. I reached out to businesses I didn't even know exist and started asking friends and family, what do you guys do? Where have you been? And learned about this climbing wall, indoor climbing gym. And they've been around for a few years. And here I was thinking that they had just opened up. So This whole experience has really opened my eyes up to so many new things that are in the Valley. I would encourage you, please, 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 if your business or you know of something that you love participating in, that you would reach out to me and say, hey, Marit, I really think you should highlight this business or talk to this owner because they're doing some really amazing things. I would love that. And the more exposure I can give to businesses in Yakima, I'm 100% about it. The big thing is it costs you absolutely nothing. When we did this indoor, a lot of those businesses were like, what's this going to cost me? And I just want to be clear, this is my passion project. I want to spread good news about Yakima. If there are sponsors out there that would like to participate, I'm all about it. I'm not going to be ashamed to ask for some financial support in this endeavor, that's for sure, and happy to highlight those businesses. But I just think it's really important. And it's not only up to the Chamber of Commerce or Yakima County Development or even Yakima Valley Tourism. I think it's each one of us as citizens of this community to be out here speaking positively about our community and what we have to offer. And I just want to be sure that we get a camera on that and a mic on that and tell that story. Coming up with ideas on what to shoot and what to highlight has it's been a little bit of a challenge. There's another YouTube channel, and he's a lot of the catalyst for the ideas I get. He's based out of Austin, Texas. Can't think of his name right now, but he helps me come up with ideas. I've talked about in my most recent video, talking with all of you, and that is really, again, a focus on education. I want to do a deeper dive into local businesses. So it could be service industry. It could even be community involvement, volunteer opportunities. We just covered arts and theater. So as you think of ideas that you think would be important to talk about and shine a light on, I'm 100% all about it. There's so much industry here. I really, really enjoy talking about industry. Would love to get into a few packing warehouses. If you've never been in a packing warehouse, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And as I think a lot of you know, we have cutting edge technology here. And I would love to be able to show people that. There's so many people. You drive by these warehouses all the time and you have no idea. Same with the hops. Have you ever seen the hops harvest? It's fantastic. And it's such a process and it's super immediate. And I just want to spend more time highlighting all the amazing industry that's here. So that's really looking forward to what 2024 is going to be, as well as highlighting festivals and things that are happening across the valley when they're coming up, and get more people involved. Really hoping to do that in 2024. I got to call out my film crew, Micah with Digital Vendetta. He and we have so much fun together. He goes cruising around on a one wheel. I don't know if you've ever seen this thing, but it looks like a giant skateboard with a wheel in the middle of it, and he is a master at it. So much so he actually is doing competitions with his one wheel. So whether I'm riding my bike down Yakima Avenue, it feels a little bit like a movie scene because there's Micah right next to me, and then I got to turn around and go back. Or when we were up in Tieton and we're filming on a farm, and he's holding onto the back of the Jeep, and the Jeep's going all over, and he's got to hold the camera. Even filming in downtown Tieton, and we were in my friend's really groovy Jeep Cruiser, and he's crawled in the back and he's holding a camera. He is just such a trooper. But we haven't had too many bloopers while filming, but I'll tell you, he's a bit of an acrobat, and we get a lot of giggles with all of our filming, walking and talking and walking backwards or sideways or pointing to something. I am certainly no pro at this camera stuff, so we have a pretty good time, and there's lots of giggles. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that he's always got a bottle of water for me because I get a little chalky in my talk sometimes. Thank goodness for Micah. I'm a huge trail fan and love the Cowiche Canyon Conservancy and spend a lot of time on a couple of the trails near my home. One in particular that I'm at quite a bit is the one off of Scenic, and so I wanted us to interview the executive director of Cowiche Canyon Conservancy. So we were up there. It was a cold, blustery day. God, the wind was blowing like crazy. We get done with the interview. Sarah goodbyes to her. And then Micah is on his one wheel and he's going to film. And the mountains were out. It was beautiful, but it was cold. So anyways, he jumps on his one wheel. He's on the trail. He's zipping all over and he's getting all this footage and throws up the drone and the whole deal. And I got a call from the Conservancy and you're not allowed to have any power things on the trail. So I got in trouble for that, and I felt so bad. And the truth is I should have known because, 6-7 months before that, I wanted to shoot our office promotional video up there. Again, I love this trail system and the view of the valley. So there we were, all 20 of us parked up on the top of the trail, disturbing the natural habitat. I got in trouble for that one too. I've made donations to the Conservancy because of my mistakes. But these are some of the things that you learn as a rookie videographer. So if you're going on public land, you should probably ask permission first.
Funny.
I did. And I was. I'm so sorry. It fell on my sword. I felt so bad. Yeah, I got in trouble. One of the things that is interesting about doing this series is calling up these business owners. And they're really puzzled why I want to do this or why we want to shoot. And then can you imagine when I finally get them to say yes, and you show up with a film crew and we're miking them up and everything, they're like, oh, wait a minute, not realizing, no, this is like professional. I want it to be done at the highest quality. So I think a lot of the people we interview are pretty surprised by that. The other thing is some people are really engaging on camera. They've been interviewed lots of times. They know their story. They just rattle it out. I'll tell you, Charlie Robin is probably my best interview. He's so engaging. He has this fantastic personality. He is the director of Capitol Theater. And then there's other people you're kind of like pulling information from them to get them to talk. So that's pretty entertaining too. But overall, I think business owners do want to talk about their business. But a lot of them are pretty shy about getting on camera. And I think after we get going a little bit, they loosen up and realize I'm just a normal person and this crew is fantastic. So they sort of lean in. But for the most part, I would say people are pretty good on camera. A couple of stars who have been interviewed lots of times are really great on camera. But no matter what, you don't have to be good. I just want you to tell your story and sell your business to the viewers so that they'll come and visit you and support you and be a part of our community. When I set out on this, it was really about providing good quality information for people considering a move to Yakima. That was really the number one thing. I'm a real estate agent. Can I be this resource to help people come to this community, learn about it, and then decide where they want to live? What part of town? What school system? Is there a hospital here? All these commonly asked questions to be able to have one venue where they can find all that information out. I think Yakima Valley Tourism, they're trying to attract tourism where people will come into the valley, experience, and then go and hopefully come back again and bring more friends and so forth. So it would be interesting to see how we can, or how I can start to create partnerships across the valley with other like-minded people who want to shine a positive light on the valley and help support each other. It is a big financial investment in this passion project, so finding ways to bring in some sponsorship, that would be one of my goals for 2024, because I do want to keep doing this. I absolutely love it, and I think it's important to have positivity out there about the valley, and I think YouTube is an excellent medium for doing so. I think this little series, Living in Yakima, is beginning to make an impact, and we are getting bigger, and people are reaching out a lot more, and we have big plans moving forward. And if you're interested in participating, joining in, please reach out to me. You can message me through the YouTube channel. I would love that. You can always go to my own website, maritmakita.com. I would love to bring more people in on this journey of shining a bright light on Yakima, and I hope that you will join me. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about what it is like to live in Yakima.